Good morning and welcome to Madman in the Morning. I'm your host, Frank the Madman Browning. Hey guys, we are getting ready for the big game. No podcast this week. We're getting ready for the Super Bowl. New England and Philadelphia going at it next week. We're going to be talking about that game, and we're going to be giving you our pick as the Super Bowl champions next week. Brett the Hitman back with me next week on the podcast. I'll be there. We're both going to give you our picks on the Super Bowl next week. We're even going to talk about some of these prop bets. Guys, get over to our Facebook page, The Madman on Facebook. Check us out. Follow our page. Like our page. We'd love to have you. But guys, again, we're going to be having our podcast. It's our final show and final podcast of the year next week. We're going to try to bring you a big one, so stay tuned and listen for that. Next week, make sure you get on to Star 95, 9 o'clock in the morning. Check out Madman in the Morning. And right after that, the podcast will air on the Madman on Facebook. Make sure you check that out next week. Hey, and how about my D-O-double-G last week? They didn't win the game outright, but I had Jacksonville plus the points against the Patriots. I love the game. Jacksonville had an opportunity late to win that game, and there was a couple questionable calls during the game, but we won't talk about the fact that those referees have been in a lot of games that New England's played in this year, but we won't talk about that either. Those guys will not be at the Super Bowl with New England as they travel to Minnesota to take on Philadelphia. And guys, we're going to break down that game, Brett the Hitman and myself, next week on the podcast. We're going to tell you what we think's going to happen during that Super Bowl. So make sure you tune in next week. Listen to the radio show on Star 95. Make sure you get over and check out our podcast next weekend. Again, we won't have a podcast this week as we prepare for the final football game of the year, the Super Bowl between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New England Patriots. Guys, have a great weekend. I am the Madman, and I am out.